Hello, and welcome back to a new Avatar video about if the Avatar world started over. We have, it's doing well. You know what the titles, says, and then, if here, what's that purple square mean? All bending. Every single type of bending in a culture. Wait, where, foreshadowing, where did you come from? Okay, let's start with something else. So, over here you see the ones that left the Ren Alliance. This dark gray team, or grayish, bluish, greenish team. This dark purple team, and the green team. Or this yellow team that used to be part of the green team. And also this dark purple team are all dictatorships now. So basically they have like absolute power and control over their people. And basically, you know how Mr. Crab wants land? Well, they're basically like Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs wants money. They're basically the Mr. Krabs of land, and wants to take land. And so they start doing land. Oh, whoops. Land taking stuff a day. Because they want to be like Mr. Krabs of land. Also, just like taking land, so not just on land. So it's not like they want money, but they want land. The pink team also expands a bit, but not as much as these teams. The other less dark purple team, also like dark purple, expands a lot over here. Bim, bada bing, gotta ching. This yellow team makes another another encampment over here to expand their stuff. The dark red team also is expanding quite a bit. Don't worry, they're not a dictatorship. That's not their thing, but they want to expand. Then we have the dark purple team, and they're actually going to, this is like dark purple. Do I have this saved up here? I don't know if I do. I might. Color, pika. And then this color, they actually expand back into like the mainland over here. Because that's cool. So they do that. So that's fun. And yeah, all these dictatorships are like forcing the people out of their land. So the this purple team, normal purple, I guess, I don't know, decides that they want to allow any type of they can allow any bender and anyone because they want to allow equality. And they start gaining population, and they eventually were like, you know what, I'm gonna take my land back. And they start taking their land back, and it's actually going surprisingly successfully, and taking this peninsula part back. And they're like, oh, whoa, what's happening? You can't take our land, which was previously your land, and then we kicked you out from that land, all that land. So they're like, hey, I know you have more population and stuff, but they want to fight back, but honestly, it's kind of unsuccessful because this may sound like a bit like, oh, but like, they're actually like pretty strong. All these like nations, like they have this mixed bending force where like, so like they're just actually doing well in repelling them, and they eventually gain their land back, partially from military might, but also from just treaties and people feeling bad for taking all of their land, because they took a lot of land. So they have that, and they become this thriving, multi-bending community, and that's good. So dictatorships happening up here, but like a lot of them are fleeing here because they feel like they're safe here. And like these teams don't really care that they lost land here because they realize it was kind of unjust, and there's actually movements happening back in their homeland saying that they should like kind of decolonize and take less. They're not fully decolonizing right now. They're just agreeing with the purple team to give them back their land. Decolonization will happen another time, but decolonization is not right now. Wow, foreshadowing. Where did you come from again? You keep on showing up. Yeah. Crazy. Foreshadowing. So, yeah. That just happened. Got these dictatorships over here. And they don't form an alliance because they're dictatorships, and they don't like forming alliances. But they have like a partial alliance between all of them because they're losing people against this purple team, and they're like, hey, that's not cool. We want to subjugate our people, and we don't want them leaving to your land. So they try putting more like border restrictions on their land and trying specifically stop them from moving to purple team, which is like partially successful, but it's also even more successful at making more like rebellions and people that want to rebel against the dictatorship because they're limiting their freedom of travel, and like, and it's just it's exact words I would use to describe it. So, but they don't learn their lesson. They keep on expanding because they're like, land. Me see land, me take land. Me see land, me take land. Wow, so what a good song I just did right there. Wow, crazy. And they take just swaths of land. Swaths. And they meet up with the pink team over here, and the pink team also takes this island because they want to. Why not? Red team, or dark red team also is like, hey, and they have some advances because they're not like decolonizing it or anything. They still want to colonize. They're just like, we'll give purple team back their land, but like, we still want to like do all this stuff. And now the grayish, greenish, teamish, emish, skimmish, mimish, all of the names above us. Team, yeah, they do it, and then have this dark purple team. They meet up with, like, make a border here, and like the black team sees this as like a threat of how much they're expanding, so they decide to take some of the land over here, and this bluish team that also has lands over here, kind of colonizing, is like, hey, we also will take the land, the two, or yeah, it's this color. So they're like, hey, we want this land, and they take this area, so that went well. Yeah, so that is happening. Even though expansion is over, the expansion is still happening, but expansion starts slowing down. And you might think, wow, cool, 5 stars, I don't know. But there's gonna be another mixed team that has multiple styles of depending. Because that's really depending on what's the wind of the wind. And I'm like, what am I doing? But, yeah. See, up here, this, like, pink team isn't doing too well on their, like, territorial heralds, and there's a lot of, like, blue team, and we got the gray team, and, like, they have expanded quite a bit. The gray team's actually doing pretty well for themselves, but not as well as the yellow team over here. That is not the same color. Come on, guys, you're selling. Okay, boom. And then they're like, hey. And then they take this area, which is very big swaths of land. And then we have the dark gray team takes some of this area over here, also taking quite a bit of land. And then the pink team also sets up another coastal settlement over here. They had this before, who cares? And this whole thing is like got a lot of like water tribe mixing with like this with the fire bending, and over here they're like, hey, we want to like, there's a lot of water benders here, but there's also like they don't want to be controlled by these like teams all the way across the sea, and like they still both live in cold climates, but like here there's like a lot of different species, like plant species, animal species down here. Then like here is like really different. They have a lot of ice and all that, so they decide that they want to create a rebellion. So they create the Gold Rebellion and unite all of these territories. And they're kind of like, hey, we want this land for ourselves. And then, like, this is kind of happening. A lot of the firebenders also, like, hey, the firebenders kind of want this land, but also it's like, because like the waterbenders aren't doing as well, and they start with like hey, and war breaks out, woo, our favorite stuff, and they my voice is like really raspy today. I don't know what's happening. I don't think I'm sick, but I might be, to be honest, so be warned. I don't know. Don't come near. And the blue team, or this gold team, is actually doing a decent job over here, but then the yellow team like comes back and like takes more land and like takes some of this land and this land, and whoa, damn. No. And this land all the way over here. And then they reach a peace agreement. But then, like, the respective teams, like, see this as an opportunity. Like, so they try and take their lands, and they take their lands back from the gold team. Very short-lived rebellion. But you might ask, then why was there a rebellion? Like, if it's so short-lived and useless. It's not actually useless. This creates unrest within the, like, communities, and they're like, hey, we should live together peacefully. Waterbenders and firebenders. So they do that. And they start with some, like, this red team territory is like it creates this anti-war rebellion. Whoa, it's a gold team. It's called not having many colors, and they create this anti-war rebellion. And they eventually get these pink team settlers to agree with them, like, hey, let's stop this war, and they get this area, and like they expand, and like there's actually like it's not the typical battle because like some people like there's actually a lot of people that are anti-war because they don't want like this like they think that they can live in harmony, and they're not wrong. They should live in harmony. So they kind of overtake this area, and now the other team's like seeing them as like a threat, so they're like, let's make a peace agreement. So they make a peace agreement, and now they become a new multi-bender like area, and yay. That happens, and a lot of these like dark gray, and like a lot of people are actually funneling into this gold team or orangish. Yeah, it's called gold because they want like they're supportive of their more getting into politics. They're more kind of liberal ideas, like this yellow team and this gray team, pink team, and light gray team are a bit more conservative. So there's like the liberal alternative. A lot of these like, and same with like this purple team's like very liberal speaking, worldwide speaking. So as a political view, very liberal areas, because the liberals gotta have some areas. Oh, so that happens. Those liberal victories, and then yeah, all this happening, and here's time for my blue team decides to expand because they want expansion. Oh my goodness, not that much expansion. Never mind. Because they want to do. And some of the teams just expand. There's just the segment at the end of the video I like to call random expansion. Not really random, it's thought out, but like just some teams expanding. Because they want land. We haven't really focused on this area by the lake that much, the two lakes. But yeah, that's probably enough. Given this video isn't about expansion, it's about more than that. So, yeah. Let me get a good view for the YouTube thumbnail. Perfect. This is good enough. Okay. Goodbye, Avatar Nerds, and have a good day. And just like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I don't know why I'm speaking like this, but goodbye.
You're the spitting image of Kana.